Hello everyone! This video is for TA Talks for the Department of World Language and Culture, and I'm Charlize. I'm going to present my home country, Taiwan. Let's get started. So you can call me Hsiang-Ling, or if it's easier for you, just call me my English name, Charlize. And Taiwan, Taiwan is where I come from. So before we get in further, I would like to provide a brief introduction of how it would be like if you are in Taiwan now for the 1 minute. And then you will landing in the Taipei, Taiwan. Spend some time together, never know what you might ever find. Wanna venture for the venture, you know friendship is the only danger. It's okay, it's okay. Okay, so let's get started. This is the table of the contents, and we will divide to two different main topics. The first one will be introduction, and then will be the second one be the personal experience. So for the introduction will be the first part, and then we will have the subtopics, which are including location, language, religion, ethnicity, geography, education, food, and celebrities. And the second part is personal experience. So I will share the comparison and similarity of the cultural difference between my home country, Taiwan, and the US. And then the last part will be the cultural adjustment. So this is me, Wang Hsiang-Ling is my Chinese name. And then, as I say, you also can call me Charlize. And this is the location and the places that I have been to. And the last May, I graduated from Michigan. I finished my master there. And the second picture here I provide where I work in Dublin, Ireland. And I got the chance to experience the authentic St. Patrick's Day. It's quite different from the US, but I enjoy it a lot as well. And third part is I participate in a global event in Mexico, Merida. And the last picture is you can see the whole bunch of my families. We had a good time in Okinawa. That was my brother's wedding. And another fun fact about me, I do have a YouTube channel and I mainly focus on three different things. The first one is the cultural and language exchange, and the second one is Mandarin teaching, and the last one will be the living of our experience. I will share like a couple tips where you feel and how you would adjust the different cultural, different habits in your in the country where you live in. Let's get started. The first one is the location. So where's the Taiwan? And you will see this is our national flag. And then the blue color present liberty, and the white is equality, and red, of course, is love, full of love. And so how far from here, Scranton to Taipei? You see over 7,000 miles away. And you can see the video. Ooh. Okay, so if you take a flight from New York to Taipei, Taiwan, and then it will be like over 12 hours by direct flight. And there's another picture to let you see more clear see how far from here where we are to Taipei, Taiwan, which is the capital city in Taiwan. And you can see this is Taiwan, the capital, as I mentioned here, is Taipei, and the population is around 23 million. And we do have a couple different small islands, including Lianjiang, in other words, is Mazu and Kinmen, Penghu, and so on. And then this is the most distinct characteristic of Taiwan. The first one is bubble tea, and the second one is the 2019 we just legalized the same-sex marriage, and then we also be the first Asian country that you can get married if you want to marry to the same-sex partner. That's legal in Taiwan. In this is the Taipei 101 that was the highest building of the world. And the last thing is we do have our first female president, which is Tsai Ing-wen. And I would like to provide more information about her because you see, now we need to deal with the coronavirus all over the world. However, she was selected by the magazine Folk, and it says that from the headline you can see, what do countries with the best coronavirus response have in common? Woman leader. And then it's such a big honor. Our president Tsai Ing-wen was one of these 7 leaders. And also the next one will be the language. In Mandarin, what we speak. However, there are other languages we also speak in Taiwan. Mandarin Chinese is mentioned, also the Taiwanese, Hakka, and the Formosa language, which is Aboriginal language. And let's see the percentage of how the language we speak in Taiwan. So you can see the Mandarin and Taiwanese are the main language that we speak, and the rest of them are Hakka indigenous language. I would say, in Taiwan, if you can speak Chinese, that would be perfect. And if you can't speak Taiwanese, that's totally fine, because people in Taiwan who can speak Taiwanese definitely also can speak Mandarin. And what's the difference from the language that we speak, Chinese, Mandarin Chinese, and the Chinese in mainland China? I would say pretty much similar. Only the tones, some vocabulary are different, and also how we write the character are different. So the character that Taiwanese people write, there's a name called traditional Chinese, and whereas people in China, mainland China, they write simplified Chinese. And the third one is religion. This is the component of how many different language religion that we have in Taiwan. And you can see for the charts, most of the people believe in Buddhism. However, we also have people who believe in Taoism. And I want to introduce this event called 大甲 event. That is the world's top 3 religious parade in the world, and that's, take a look. Okay. This is like 100 years of history, and they usually take 9 days, and then people will walk over 300 kilometers, and then over 2 million people participate. So it's very worth to take a look. Fireworks. And then the next one. Okay, so as I mentioned, this event called 台湾大甲妈祖 pilgrimage. And then let's take a look at the ethnicity. In Taiwan, you see 97% people are Han Taiwanese, and then the other 2.3 are Aboriginal, and then including the 16 different groups, and then live all over the Taiwan Islands. And then the next part is geography. Taiwan is pretty small. However, each 4 different religions, like North, South, West, East, have their own distinct characteristic. For the north part, it's more like a sandy beach in the rocky lands. And then the west part here is more like the plains and lagoons in the sandbank. You can see very beautiful sunset. For the south part, it's more like a vacation vibe places around here, including like coral reef you can see. And for the east part, it's more for outdoor person adventures because they have a very beautiful, outstanding mountains and cliffs. For the education, there is 12-year compulsory education in 6 years for elementary school, 3 years in middle school, and 3 years of high school, and the 4 years for university. And I want to emphasize we do have a uniform culture. So from the elementary school to high school, you are required to wear uniform. In each school or each school, they have their own design. For the high school, there are 2 different. One is private and the other is public school. And then this is the most stressful period because everyone studied very hard to prepare their college entrance examination. So in Taiwan, the cream school is more like required, but not really, because after regular school, people will go to the cream school to study, to learn extra, or to be more familiar with what they already learned or they are going to learn in school. And then this is university. In public school is generally better than the private school. However, there's some others examination. And then for the tuition fee, there's 1,000 or 1,800 for a semester. In the dorm, usually cost around like 300, 350 for a semester. And for the food, we do have a night market that is definitely very attractive. The reason you should go to Taiwan because after midnight, they're still running and you don't need to worry about if you get hungry. And then there are a couple of snacks for in Taiwan, very common, popular. Also, the local people like the first one, we pick rice cake, and then the Taiwanese Subway. So this is like sausage with the cucumber and the very fresh vegetables, lettuce with, you can see here is a bread cover. In the steak and tofu is some, foreigners, they're scared. However, as a local Taiwanese, I would say I strongly recommend you should try. And this is always the omelets. The not cost even $2. You can have a seafood, lettuce, eggs, all in one, and very amazing sauce. And then fried popcorn chicken, also very, most try food you should try in Taiwan. And the last part will be the summer best selection, shelf ice cream. And then, as I mentioned, bubble tea from Taiwan. And this is a Taiwanese brand, bubble tea brand in the US. here goat cha, and I know in New York City they have a branch store. It's just next to the Columbia University. So if you are around nearby, I would strongly recommend you to try. Or the Cocoa Fresh Tea and Juice this brand. Also, you can see in Flushing, New York, and Chat Tea or Tianren Chat Tea Time. This you can find in San Francisco because I've been there and I saw. In 85 Bakery, or if you are Xiaolongbao person, you will like Din Tai Fung. Okay, and then the convenience store, it's open for 24 hours in every day. They're including a whole bunch of different servers, like of course they sell food, and then they do have a printing service, or you want to pay your bill, you can do that there, or you want to purchase your music ticket or your movie tickets, no problem. You can find that in 7-Eleven store. And then if you want to mail your package, you also can finish there. And there's another very amazing service we have for these years. This one is no staff convenience store in 7-Eleven. What does that mean? So you can walk in there, the store there, without the staff who serve you. And you can see that will be easier to understand from the video. Okay. So you scan your face and regetting and choose the product you want.
Face Pay.
Yes.
Face Go.
So you don't even need to pay by your cash. This is a cashless system. You just use your face to finish everything and you can go. In the next one is celebrity. So I want to introduce this person, Li An. She's very famous in Taiwanese film director and he has won so many international awards, including all this is, and of course the Golden Globe Awards. And this is his performance. You can see the very new one is filmed by 2016, and then they have a live pie, and then the Brokeback Mountain as well. And then for the Billy, this movie, the actor is only 19 years old and he becomes the hero after Iraq battle. And you can see from the video why this is famous, because it describes the story, but the soldier, a lot of the inner history before the battle, in the middle of the battle, or after, and all these change the mentally or the physically. So let's take a look.
It's sort of weird being honored for the worst day of your life. You know things most of the rest of us will never know. That's got to weigh heavy on a young man's shoulders.
It's really good to have you back, my brother.
Yeah, and after the battle,
No longer belongs to you.
so he experienced a lot, and then eventually they fight for the victory. And however, he's inside has so many things he wants to say, and then all in this video, in this movie. So if you're interested, I highly recommend you to watch it. And then we comes to the currency, how much $1 is equal to around 30 Taiwanese dollars. So for example, if you want the Mac burger in McDonald's, you can get like 2 or around 3 for the you get in the US. And this is our money, our currency, you can see. And then the next part is the comparison similarity. So the United States is about 273 times bigger than Taiwan and is slightly smaller than the Maryland and the Delaware combined all in one together. And you can see what is the advantage or disadvantage if you are the US citizen or you live in US. However, if you want to live in Taiwan, so you actually get lower pay. However, there's still good thing is the price in Taiwan is cheaper than US. And how is the relations between the Taiwan and the United States? So in these 2 years, it's getting much better, and especially this year 2020 is the very big improvement because the President Donald Trump just signed the new act called Taipei Act, and you can see from this news.
US President Donald Trump has signed the Taipei Act, officially called the Taiwan Allies International Protection and Enhancement Initiative Act.
Following the Taiwan Travel Act, this is Capitol Hill's second piece of legislation with the word Taiwan in its name. The presidential office released a statement on Friday thanking the US for its support.
Yeah, so after this act, actually, the US, such a very good, like powerful country, leading country over the world, right? And then once they sign this Taipei Act and support Taiwan, like to participate the global, the international organization, and that really helped us to get a recognition from the rest of the world. And then this one is election. So the voter age in Taiwan is 18 years old, and there are two main parties. And this year we just finished our president election, and then Tsai Ing-wen and William Lai win this. And also we do have a national or local level of elections. The national is for the president and the legislation later. And you can see we have besides this 国民党 and then the 民主进步党, we also have a couple of different small parties in Taiwan. And what is the election in Taiwan? That is from the America perspective. You can see this year there are more and more people, more and more foreigners from different countries. They came to Taiwan to visit our president election because the Western world really curious about how this run in Taiwan. And you can see this lady present in New York City, and she observed how the things run is in Taiwan, and you can see
directly participating in that democracy.
It's been amazing, actually. I would say that seeing Taiwan's democracy gave me hope in democracy again in a way, because there are a lot of, it's more direct here, it's more grassroots in a way, because I live in New York City, so, you know, a lot of the election stuff in the US, it happens in Iowa, or it happens in New Hampshire. Nobody comes to New York City to like go shake hands with people on the street, right? So seeing how dedicated the politicians were to trying to serve their constituents here, seeing people take voting so seriously, seeing people going to the, you know, ballot counting to watch them count. It was literally like every vote counts, and that's something you don't really feel as much in America. So that was an amazing experience.
yes. And then let's take a look. Okay, so you must want to ask the question why you want to study in the US. So this concept, when it comes to the cultural differences, and there's one called the melting pot, is all the different your own country's cultural and melting in the pot all in one and become to the US. Now why the people like the immigrants or the people who work in US but from different countries, then come to US and work here, and then they adjust their own culture, and then that becomes the US culture, the America culture. However, there's another concept called cultural pluralism, like a syllable, like you keep all distinct cultures in one ball. And then I admire and then respect this more, because I think every single culture should be should get recognized and the respect. And before I study in US, there are like a couple of things I worry about. First, I heard people in the US, some of them may be very racist, not friendly to Asia group. So I worry if they will do this kung fu gesture in front of me. And actually not. When I tell people I'm from Taiwan, people will be like, oh, I like a Panda Express. But actually, the orange chicken is not Chinese food. It's not authentic Chinese food. And then I also heard some people say, oh, I like a panda. Or have you ever watched Mulan? Unfortunately, never. I have a lot of first to try in the US. 3 years ago was my first year I live in US. The cinema roll, and I celebrate my first Thanksgiving, and also the camping is not really big thing in Taiwan. So I have a good time with my American roommate, with her family and friends. In the snowing day in Taiwan, we look in a tropical, subtropical area, so we don't really have a snowing day unless you go to very like high mountain, and that maybe happen like 2 times a year, 3 times a year. You can barely count on your finger. And then this is my 3rd year living abroad, living in the US. And I kind of lost my cultural identity, because once you live in the country, not from where you originally used to live, and then you need to adjust the difference. And so I would more consider my cultural roots. Same time, I also feel more comfortable to live here. And so now people will ask me, because you live in the island or European country, and also the United States of America, and then you're from Taiwan, do you want to stay here after maybe when you finish your degree or your contract, your working contract? I would say yes, because I really feel comfortable. I enjoy the freedom of the speech and the freedom of the everything. People here respect your opinion. And then I really feel, very easy word to say, feel good to live here. I'm happy. I can be myself. I think that is really, really important. So this is my speech, my presentation for my country. And 再见 in Chinese is bye. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you have a chance, feel free and welcome to Taiwan.